I've been meaning to do this video for a long time. Oh, I never got a Lamborghini out of a unit, but I saw one drive in one. That was a trip. It was over in North Druid Hills. Essentially, I'm doing this video because there's some stuff I want to get off my chest. I get all these emails. I get all these crazy people who's like, show us what you got, show us what you got, show us what you got. The reality is, yeah, that's me. I'm the one that's talking about the dumbasses who are emailing, show me what you got, show me what you got. The reality is very simple of the business. Those storage auction hounds who get things like this shiny, sparkling ring, which was a bitch to sell, don't come on YouTube and they don't talk about their best finds. Because see, hey, there's a little cake for you. And oh yeah, that's what I'm having for lunch if you do care. The reality is it starts like this. Someone gets overlocked, that little red tag comes on, and before you know it, they're selling their stuff, and they're probably going to grab some of this to ease their soul. Or, shoot, they may even get a new passport on life. But this is one of the cars that I got out of a unit. And this is how I cleaned out my unit. See, big ass truck. Got a barber pole. Actually got some cash money out of a unit once. Yeah, that came out of a unit. And they only owed $200. I just didn't understand it. Maybe they were drinking. But you can get stuff like this. Or, well, you can't get the dog, but you can get a ton of dog cages. Or you can get albums. Or you can get a lot of art. I got a lot of art, but some of that chintzy, cheesy, cheap stuff doesn't sell so well. Now that was a nice find. Now understand, this is a recap, got some like that, of stuff that I got because when I was in the business, I would have, that's what would have happened to me if my partner knew that I was talking about the stuff. But you get jewelry. And on the Ferrari, damn, I didn't get it, but I got those wheels and sold them for $2,000 on eBay. You get a ton of Nikes. And oh, you get a bunch of stripper units. A lot of stripper units. And sometimes you get old bikes, but those are kind of a bitch to sell. But stuff like this, like the little pink pole monkey, came out of a stripper unit. That's easy to sell. Buck and it's gone. Or something like this, it's a little challenging. This was fine. I actually got one of these out of a unit. It was rusted out. All right, now we're going to get to the second part of the video. Some actual photos of stuff that actually came out of a storage unit. Now, all the stuff didn't come out of the same storage unit. It actually came out of several. Just decided to put this together because there's so many people who really don't understand how this business works. Question, as that stuff goes by. If you've bought a unit, you spent $500, $1,500, and the contents of that unit made you, say, $50,000 or $70,000. Would you go on television or YouTube and talk about it? Would you? Of course not, because you're smart. Now, all of this stuff, this is old pictures, but everything you see here actually came out of storage units. Everything. Stuff on the floor, stuff on the walls, washer and dryers, tires, tools, artwork, everything, like they said in that movie, everything you want came out of a storage unit. As you can see, and now this is not everything. Everything in here that you see came out of a storage unit, but you don't see the other stuff. There was way more because essentially the business was broken down like this in three parts. Good regular stuff, better to nicer stuff, to oh golly gee whiz stuff. And the proportions of those would be 70, 20, and 10%. 70% of the stuff that you will get out of a storage unit is going to be regular run-of-the-mill stuff. Just regular stuff. It's not going to be exciting. It's not going to be anything to write home to mama about. It's just going to be something that you got cheap and you can resell and make something that is the wow factor. It's called profit. I mean, I don't know about you, but if When I bought a unit for $10 and made $300, I did the fucking happy dance. If I bought a unit for $500 and I made $2,000, once again, it was the happy dance because I was making way more money than I was spending, and that was the joy. But due to, I'm making this video to also I guess this is a rant because I had to pull back from watching the TV shows for two reasons. One, I'm seeing similar themes from my videos and blog posts to the point I hit my blog post. And just to let you know, until I get these stories copyrighted, I will not be putting them on YouTube or my blog because people are playing me kind of loose and easy. They're borrowing just enough because I'll tell you, there was a few situations where I actually contacted an attorney. We discussed it. I potentially had a case, but the guy was just straight up with me. And it's like, winning these type of things are doable, but they take a lot of time and a lot of money. And do you want to commit to that before we even get started? And I thought about it and I said, give me a little time because, this shit's pissing me off. Then I thought about it. The record companies spend millions of dollars a year trying to combat this, maybe billions, and they can't do it. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to flip the game. What's going to happen? The next set of stories that come out, I'm going to put them on Kindle as Kindle singles. I'll make them real cheap. For the people who jump in real quick, I'll make them free. You can download them to your Kindle, iPhone, whatever, and get them. And I'm just going to do that way. So if I see my future stuff on television, I can get something called compensatory and statutory damages. See, that's the beauty of the law. I didn't know how the law, because, just a quick lesson. When you write something or make a video, you get an immediate copyright. But unless you register it with the Copyright Office for that sum, then before you can sue anybody, you have to go through the Copyright Office and register it, but you cannot get the statutory damages. And I was like, this shit's a racket. But you know what? Don't hate the player, hate the game. So I'm going to up my game. There's going to be more stuff. And also, that furniture wasn't so hot, but it came out of storage unit. It's going to allow me to up my game and talk about stuff that I normally can't talk about on YouTube, but I can put in a book because anytime that I get on the edge or really talk about something freaky, some little bitch flags it, and then they're like, this is age appropriate and this is adult content. And I mean, seriously, I have not showed a boob, a penis, or nothing, but I get that shit anytime that I broach the sensitive nature of some little bitch that I wish would just fucking unsubscribe. Just go the fuck away and leave me and my videos alone. But no, they hang around just waiting for that chance to press the button, you little stupid bitch. But back to the video. I'm talking about ranting because I spent a week watching the TV shows and losing my mind and just getting pissed off. And I'm like, we got to come up with a solution. So this is going to be my solution. And also to show you what you really get out of storage units. Sometimes you get something super nice. You do. It happens. It's happened to me several times. But let me qualify that statement. That's kind of gnarly. You have to buy a lot of units to get lucky a lot. And most people are not situated or built their business to the point that they can handle the volume. I've said it many times. I've put it in a book. I've touched around it on videos. And I'm going to make sure this is in the middle of the video because the lazy people won't get this far. The more you buy, the luckier you become. You have to have a process. You need to have a system to be successful in this business today. Years ago, you didn't even have to use the internet to make a lot of money. You just buy units, open up a store, go to flea markets, and you could just cake it up. But today, there's no way that you are going to be able to, I remember that stuff. That was like, I just blew that shit out because it was driving me crazy. But there's no way today that you're going to be able to get in this business and not utilize the internet and social media and be successful. It's just not going to happen. There's just too many players in the game right now. But if you are serious I'm going to tell you a little secret about the players in the game. The vast majority are part-timers. And this isn't a slam or a rant or something against part-timers. I'm just giving you the truth here. If you're a part-timer and you're like feeling offended, fuck you. But anyway, most of them are part-timers, and because they're part-timers, they have not made the commitment to build a business. And without a commitment to build a business, they don't get the truck, they don't get the space, they don't have the resources to compete against you who did all of that. The TV shows are starting to lose their luster. The shine is coming off the rock, and people are kind of like, been there, done that. So for those of you who are really thinking about getting into this business and you really are thinking about making a go of it, about right now, because I was going to say after Labor Day, but right now, because you got to buy, get it going, because we're about to enter the selling season. From September to May, though, it rocks and rolls in the retail world for a simple reason. Kids are back in school. Things are going. It gets cold. People stay inside. When they stay inside, they get bored. When they get bored, they go online. When they're online and they're bored, they tend to shop. I think it's called retail therapy. But there's a huge difference between the sales that you will have in the summer and the sales you will have in the fall, winter, and early spring. Big difference. I've seen it for 10 freaking years. Actually, 11. And it's been the same. Summer, things slow down. Now, this isn't to say that you can't make money in the summer. It's just to say, be prepared. Because it's going to come and your sales may dip depending on what you sell. And most people, their sales dip. Mine did and continue to dip during the summer. Because I've sold more books, these last 2 weeks than I did in the last 6 weeks. So I'm like, hey, it's starting. But back to the stuff. Now you see this, I've put out some very, very helpful hints in this video. If you're going to get in this business, you're going to get a lot of this stuff, regular run-of-the-mill stuff. Stuff that you might be able to get 30, 40 bucks on a good day for. But guess what? You're going to get more of that stuff before you sell all of that stuff. The name of the game is volume buying and volume selling. But this is a little bit better than doing it from a traditional retail standpoint because you have the jackpot factor. If you're buying stuff from a retailer and you're reselling it, there's generally not going to be any surprises, because if there were surprises, you wouldn't buy from this person because, you couldn't really peg your money. Well, with this business, and believe it or not, that white bed that just went by, that unit only cost me $100. But back to the video. When you're buying from a traditional retail deal, retail wholesale deal, you rarely get the surprises that you're going to get in the storage unit. Like, I guarantee you, if you buy enough units, you're going to get surprised. You're going to be like, whoa, I could not believe that happened. I've bought units, pulled out guns, and let's talk about guns. Every time I talk about guns or bring up something, all these namby-pamby, well, you can't do that, and you need to get a tax stamp. Let me tell you something. If it's just you, Rodney the Rat, and some dust in the unit, and you pull out a fully automatic weapon, who's gonna know? I'm waiting. Should I cue the Jeopardy music? Dun, 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 dun. Nobody! That's what these people don't seem to understand. They're like, well, if you get that and you do this, I'm not going to tell you exactly what I got, but I will tell you that I've come across a lot of illegal shit, and because I wasn't stupid going off to tell anybody, making waves, I was able to dispose of that stuff in the appropriate manner, and nothing bad ever happened to me. The reason is I kept my mouth shut. If you get an automatic weapon, keep your mouth shut, go through some back channels and figure out if it's registered. Because I'm going to tell you something. Most of the legal automatic weapons are already in the system. So if it's already in the system, you're good to go. If it's not, you have what's called an illegal automatic weapon that you cannot get registered. One of the reasons that the prices of these guns are so high because there's only so many that are in that pool. And unless you're law enforcement or some other government entity, you cannot have those newer fully automatic weapons. Nope, can't have them. Can't have them. I wonder what's up with that. But just know, at that point, you got a serious problem on your hands because there's no way you can legally sell that weapon. You just can't legally sell that weapon. That's all I'm saying. So take heart. There's still a lot of money to be made in this business for those who are willing to work, hustle, and grind, and not and sit and just whine. The whining is untenable. I've never in my life seen so many grown ass people fucking whine. Oh, I went to a storage auction and I couldn't buy nothing. Bitch, you were unprepared. You cannot go to a storage auction today with 50 bucks in your pocket and expect to come out with a great unit. That's just dumbassness 20,000. The reality is, if you're going to an auction, you need to be somewhere at $1,500 to $5,000 in your pocket to be competitive, or you generally ain't gonna get shit. Except during the summer when things slowed down, because people were getting units for $100, and they were pretty nice units. But the reality is, it's about to crank up. After Labor Day, it cools off. Those of you who went to the auctions during the summer, you're about to get some company. It always happens. More people come out in the fall than the summer. The summer knocks that ass out. Oh, man, I remember that. There's actually a story about that glass table. Yeah, she was pretty too. But anyway, if you're ready, you want to make that money, start slow, develop a plan, and you can be successful in the storage auction business in 2012. That is the reality. And oh yeah, just for the title, I tagged it that reason because those bitches at A&E sent me a takedown notice because I had the Storage Wars season 1 episode up, and there were no ads on it. I just put it up because I thought it was the best show they ever did because it was truly realistic. There was no clapping and yay and none of that stuff. And the guys were kind of, it looked like a real auction, and most people agreed that's how auction was going. Then for some reason, they had to go Hollywood, and it became just stupid. I only watch it because I have to comment on it for you. Otherwise, I wouldn't watch it because it's just some bullshit. But hey, that's the deal. This is the stuff you can get out of storage units, even today. So just know, you're going to work your ass off. This is Glendon, and I'll see you in the next video.